Well, hello everyone. Again, my name is Nathan McDonald with Keiretsu Forum TV, Chairman of the Northwest Region, Rockies Region, as well as CEO for Keiretsu Capital. We're here today with Keiretsu member Greg Vangasse talking about one of our newest portfolio companies with Keiretsu Capital. Just finished our investment with Defunkify, a very exciting company that's got a new laundry detergent product that helps to get out the smells and get out the things from an active lifestyle. Really helps get the funk out of the laundry. And it was an interesting due diligence on a consumer products type company. Obviously something everybody can relate to. And with our current COVID environment, we're all doing a lot more laundry these days. So it was interesting to see the company going through the market cycle they've been in and competing in the laundry aisle. And it was an exciting due diligence process to follow since we've been working with the company since the end of 2019. So Greg, appreciate you being here. Love for you to share a little bit about your background and kind of what brought you to your interest in this company.
Thanks, Nathan. And again, just as a background for me, I have roughly 40 years in products. Of that, 15 years were with detergent manufacturers, Colgate-Palmolive and Unilever. So kind of a senior, marketing level, sales level. I have quite a bit of experience in detergents, and so Defunkify was kind of a fascinating. Really comes up, I think, in these opportunities here, certainly in the Northwest. So it was pushed to me by a member, David Katz, and he says, "Greg, you got to take a look at this." And he says, "This is right up your alley," and again, the last thing I want to invest in is just another detergent. And so when I met the team, when I went down to Eugene, and again, this is all kind of started with formulations out of the University of Oregon and a collaboration. So the formulas are great. The team was fantastic. I got drawn into it. It wasn't where I wanted to do due diligence or, and it was just like a lot of things that I saw back 20, 30 years ago in detergents, they had really conquered with these new formulas. And it just played to what I saw as an opportunity in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's not often we have this kind of innovation coming into an existing market category that already has substantial market leaders, substantial brands. It's not a new market, it's an existing market. And so that can create a lot of challenges, particularly once you get past the innovation and the development stage, and then you're in the go-to-market stage. A lot of the other factors kind of work against startup companies in terms of dealing with very well-financed competitors that for a little company getting going, it can be daunting and a real challenge. So maybe run through a little bit about the due diligence process that you guys went through. You talked about the technology. The company had existing sales, existing distribution. How did you guys look at kind of the mix of how they were doing that and kind of what their game plan was to be able to navigate and really build the company and the brand up to a point of sustainability?
Well, it's the first led a due diligence process. So I was really impressed with the team members we were able to put together. And, each one of them, had a pretty tight time. I wanted to get this done fairly quickly. Time was of the essence. I think we did start to finish in, I want to say 8 weeks. So it was pretty fast. And so kudos to the team. They're very helpful. And I have to shout out to Richard, the CEO, was incredible in all of this. I mean, he was there timely, et cetera. But what we saw, and what I particularly saw, was kind of this unique concept, because it is a developed market. And if you look at the last 10 years, there's a lot of new players that have come into it, and they've been in 3-4 years, and then they sold out to one of the big players, and for big time money. So there is that opportunity to get in, find your unique niche, and then move forward. And what I saw with Defunkify was, kind of the movement has been towards softer, gentler detergents that are good for the environment. But what they came up with was something that was actually as aggressive as cleaning and odor riddance, hence the name Defunkify, and it was not only safe to use, but it was safe for the environment as well. So kind of a unique positioning, which hit home with me. It's like, well, I think there's a market for this. And if you look at where they've gone and what they've accomplished with just one product when we started, which was powder detergent, they were knocking down distribution, Safeway, and most of the big players. And now Whole Foods is on board, REI is on board. I mean, so I think Sprouts is their number one account. So I mean, they're rolling with all the big players out there, and now have introduced a liquid detergent, which is 75% of the detergent market. And with COVID-19, they now have developed, and I think they're heading to market very soon with a disinfectant line. So they're exactly where they need to be in the marketplace, and the interest is that they're selling through, and consumers are pumped about it. And part of the due diligence process was this kind of 360 thing. We talked to buyers, obviously the team, but the buyers, ex-buyers, salespeople, and also the distributors that represent the product. And they're all, I mean, total support for the brand and very pumped about it. So at this point, the sales results look great. They seem to be on target, and they seem to have a unique proposition. So hitting on all cylinders, and they're good for the environment.
Right, and that's great. Richard's very, very well organized, very thoughtful CEO. Really understands the product, all the different complexities involved in launching this kind of a company, and has a great team that he's built around him as well. But anytime you're going to battle in retail, you've got to have as much going for as you can. Can you talk a little bit about how you saw, in terms of your due diligence, how the angels who had been invested previously and kind of the advisory board that had been built out of a number of folks who'd also invested, and at the end of the due diligence, what were some of the key ways where you saw really angels playing a key role in the growth of the company, aside from capital, to get them where they need to go?
Right. So first of all, Richard has a fairly large stake in the company, which to me is like skin in the game is kind of important. So he's very well vested in this, very focused on the whole process, and he's terrific. But he's also brought in U of O people, University of Oregon people. He has money from there, and they're continuing to work with him to develop these formulas and give them that cutting edge and stay ahead of the ball game. The advisors he has and board members also are all invested in the company as well. I'd like to think I'm advising him a little knowledge I might have in the industry, and it just is all working together, and it's really critical because it's a small team. I mean, when all's said and done, he's got some key players that are really good, but it's a small team. So he seeks out support, he listens, he reacts accordingly, and he moves fast.
Well, great. Thanks so much for all your efforts on the due diligence team, getting that wrapped up, and then to see the Keiretsu members and members of the due diligence team invest, Keiretsu Capital invested, and now we're syndicating and getting ready for the next round coming up later this summer. They've got some great milestones in front of them in terms of their distribution and revenue targets, and excited to follow along and support the journey. It's been quite the journey along to this point that the team's put in, and excited to see where they are. Most brands never even get to this point. It seems like it's tough, but once you're in the market and you got enough distribution, and as well as enough direct online sales, and some more of that type of direct revenue really helps to offset the challenges of financing the retail growth and expansion of the brand additionally. So appreciate all your help with it, and we'll look forward to following it along as it grows here. Any final thoughts on your experience working with Defunkify?
Just again, I'm very about it. I'm all about consumer products that actually help people and help the environment. So any further opportunities along those lines, I'll jump on. But this was one that came my way, and I just couldn't pass it up. So I think they're on the right road, and you're right. It's all about how do you finance their expansion, because they're going to more than double sales this year.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Greg. I appreciate you being with us and sharing a little bit about your experience working on the due diligence and backing Defunkify. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nathan. Bye-bye.